The Sheboygan Asylum is an incredibly spirited haunted attraction in its fledgling years in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Hello, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm joined by my best friend, Gage. And we are Is It Scary, Wisconsin. Not to be confused with Wish.com Is It Scary, Wisconsin, that many of you probably have seen scuttling around the Wisconsin area. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in our typical no BS fashion, tonight we're going to get right into the review with 40 points for general, 40 points for scares, 10 personal points from each of us for a grand total of 100 points possible. Total out of 100, and that's how the haunt scores. We're going to jump right into it tonight, and we're going to check it out. Is there a website? Does it have up-to-date information? Yes, 1 out of 1 point. Is there a clearly labeled parking lot or parking available? Yes, 1 out of 1 point. Is there a clearly labeled ticket booth that presents prices? Yes, 1 out of 1 point. They have a really nice price list right up front. You know exactly what you're buying. I like this a lot. Are there clear queue lines? Yes, 2 out of 2 points. Are rules listed before the first attraction? Yes, 1 out of 1 point. They're either listed or they're spoken to you. You know, they tell you keep your hands off. I like that. That's very important. Communication, especially, you know, you are putting people into... This has a touch option. They have a patient pass here, which lets the actors touch you and like sometimes drag you or pull you. And so it's really important that you communicate to your customers. You do not have permission to touch the actors. You're not going to be shut. You're not going to be hit. You're not going to be punched. You're not going to be in any situation like that. So you have no reason to be touching the actors. I like that they communicate that, and I think that's really smart. Are music and audio appropriate throughout the haunt? Absolutely. 2 out of 2 points. Did actors stay in character throughout the attraction? Yes, 2 out of 2 points. Was the haunt fully and well staffed? Yes, 3 out of 3 points. We encountered a lot of actors and had a lot of interactions in this haunt. While some of them were younger, we still had plenty of interactions with adult actors that could get significant scares. Was there clear directions through and after the haunt was over? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Was lighting appropriate? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Were there any unusual scents? Yes and no, 1 of 2 points. I didn't have anything that got me strong enough to make me go, whoa, yep, this is a really strong scent, or this is one that's really making me stop and go, do you smell that? So I gave 1 of 2 points here because they did have some other scents, maybe some corn stalks, a couple other things of that nature. I liked it a lot, so I gave 1 of 2 points there. Did you catch another group? No, 2 of 2 points. This was really well paced. The people we went in with, I considered our group. Towards the back half, we did get split up by the grandma. However, I'm not going to count that as catching a group if we caught up to them because they were still part of the group we went in with. Was this 2 of 2 points? Was the scenery quality? Very. 2 of 2 points. Did the haunt maintain immersion? Yes. 2 of 2 points. Was the walking path safe and well maintained? Yes. 2 of 2 points. Was it appropriately priced? Yes. 1 of 1 points. $30 buy-in price for this is good, and that's what I have to base it off of. Good. General admission, $30. I feel like this is a pretty top haunt experience for $30. Was there good atmosphere? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Even Gage and I, we were talking as we were walking up to the asylum itself to go and get in line. I was like, man, dude, this has got me feeling all kinds of weird, you know? Like, it's good. You see the big building in the distance, and you're walking up to it, and it's like, man, what am I getting into? Liked it. I liked it a lot. Did you see any personal items or anything out of place that you shouldn't have seen in a scene in the haunt? No, 2 of 2 points. Was it well organized? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Were they still helpful in doing their job? Yes, 2 of 2 points. The staff, they were awesome, actually. Really, they helped us a lot. Took care of us at the ticket booth. They took pictures for us, so that was nice. That was a really good showing for them. Were advertised icon characters there, or everything they advertised on social media, etc., present? Or did it show something online or show something in advertisements that it didn't accurately present? No, I felt like they accurately presented this place. I didn't feel like I really missed anything. I felt like everything that was shown to me to get me to come see the attraction was present. 2 of 2 points. Overall total, 39 out of 40. Very good. And truthfully, I probably could make the argument that the corn scents and that the outdoor scents were strong enough for me to say 2 of 2 points. However, I was still in a haunt of this size with this many rooms. I was still looking for something to really punch me in the face, a scent that really got my attention, as opposed to just like a musty corn smell outside or something with the stalks and stuff. So I was looking for just a little bit more than that to get the full points there. So 39 out of 40 for general.
For scares. Did actors attempt to scare you? Yes, 2 points. Were masks, costumes good quality? Yes, 1 of 1 point. Did props seem real? Yes, 1 of 1 point. Were actors in the position to enhance the scares? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Was there a variety of characters and creatures on the site unless stated otherwise? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did actors scare twice in the scene? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did actors scare 3 times in the scene? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did actors scare below the waist? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did actors scare from above the shoulders? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did actors use a variety of scare tactics? Yes, 3 of 3 points. Was there a go home scare in the last room or point of contact in the attraction? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Was the haunt the same old scary, or did the haunt change up things from previous years? Now, note, we've never been here, so this is more of like an overall experience, and our overall experience was good. So I did give them the 3 out of 3 points. Did actors seem well trained and enthusiastic? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Were props, animatronics, and electronic devices in working order? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Were there any unique scares? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Did anyone use vanilla lines during a scene? Yes. 0 out of 2 points. I've heard boo. That's just really the
heard
big
get out
no.
multiple times.
It's just, yeah. Yeah, those are vanilla. Moving on. If it's a no-touch haunt or a contact haunt, do they abide by these rules? For this, I did do a 0 out of 2. I will explain this shortly. Don't worry, I know what we got into and we'll explain it. Did sounds enhance the scares? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Was spoken language appropriate? Yes, 2 of 2 points. Was makeup on point? Yes, 2 of 2 points. So really, in total, out of 40 points, they did get 36 out of 40.
75.
75 is a good starting point.
75 is very good.
Yeah, before even getting a bonus points.
Even for having 2 categories where they lost all of the points, which is wild.
Do you want to move on to personal points, or do you want to make on those touches?
I'm just going to do a very short intro here. We're going to move on to personal points. We'll talk about all that other stuff after.
Okay.
This is allegedly Wisconsin's only haunted house in an actual asylum. These guys have clearly never seen my girlfriend's bedroom. When I looked at prices online, all the options and extra add-ons, I immediately thought, okay, here we go. This shit's just going to be a money grab. Well, this was my actual experience. They did deliver in many ways. And I'm happy to tell you that it's not just a money grab. But I always tell you guys my actual thoughts going into a haunted attraction. Because when I go on a website and I see, oh, patient pass, there they can touch you. Chicken pass, you won't be scared as much. This add-on, that add-on, this thing, that thing, urgent pass, patient, whatever. When I start to see all that stuff, I think, okay, extra $10 here, extra $5 here, whatever, extra $20. Well, they're just looking to milk every dollar out of you that they can. That's my initial impression, my initial thought as a businessman when I see that stuff. I can tell you guys, thankfully, that was not the case.
And he is a businessman, by the way. He does own a store.
This show is special. It's intense and weird, especially watching my best friend get grabbed and dragged into operating rooms. This was really good. Like, if you're going in a group of 2 or even like in a group of 3 or 4, like, one of you should have the patient pass and the other one of you should not. It's awesome watching them be interacted with.
I was your guinea pig. You can watch.
I have to be totally honest with you. That was probably one of the best parts of the show for me, was watching you be interacted with. Very, very cool. The Sheboygan Asylum is a special haunted attraction because they have some scares and some scenes that were really, really good quality and intense. This was a very nice change of pace from some other just standard haunts that boo, ah, boo, get out. Now, Gage, if you don't have anything in general you want to say, let's move right on to the personal points.
Sure. You go first.
Absolutely. I gave an additional personal point, +1. Great initial atmosphere. When we got out of the car and we were just kind of walking up to the ticket booth, I looked up and I saw the asylum in the distance and I thought, what the hell did we get ourselves into? This is going to be intense. And that was my expectation going into it. I didn't expect Bob's Boo Barn. I expected a revenge level experience. And I am happy to say that I got a scares experience that was, for the most part, on that level. It was good. +1. Props and scare devices worked great. They had all manner of scare props in the asylum, and they used them effectively. This was nice. Sometimes we go through haunts, and it's like they never use any props. It's just like an actor coming out and doing a scare and then going back. Well, I need a chainsaw. Give me a clown horn. Give me a whistle. Give me a shaker box. Give me something. Give me anything other than just, blah, I got to have something more. And they had something more in many ways. +1 point. +1 points. Lots of different room with lots of different scares and interactions. This was cool. We went to multiple floors, multiple different levels, and each floor it felt like it was a different interaction, whether it was maybe a classroom where we were being re-educated, or maybe it was an operating room. All great interactions. And some of the rooms you actually had to interact with the characters before they let you move on. I really liked that, and I give an additional point for that. +1 point. I watched how they attacked my friend with the patient pass. This was really excellent. For the most part, and I know Gage is going to touch on this later, for the most part, even though some of the physical interactions were intense, it was appropriate. Mm-hmm. This was good. It wasn't like a McCamey Manor style thing where they're dragging you down the hallway.
That's not a haunted house.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though? It wasn't like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a within reason touch experience. Mm-hmm. So I gave an additional point for that. +1, Shauna and the staff outside answered all questions and helped us find where we needed to go. They also took pictures for us and accommodated us in any way we needed. This is exceptional customer service, and I always like to make sure I point it out when they do that well. It was very reminiscent of the customer service experience we had at the Ravencrest Haunted Park, Gage. Remember we talked mm-hmm. about that, where they helped us figure out the billing issues and the website issues? The crew at the Sheboygan Asylum is on that same level. Very good, figuring out, hey, this is what you're going to buy. This is how much it costs. This is what you want if you don't want to wait in line. This is the kind of, very, very good. Really great customer service. +1 point. Some scares were really intense. They weren't just like a pop out, blah, 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 and that's it. It was right? It was a whole scene, and the character played in that entire scene. And that takes a lot to do. I liked this, and it was very intense. So I gave a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional personal points. That puts them currently mm-hmm. at an 81. Gage, go ahead. Let's talk personal points.
Personal points for me. I gave them a personal point for the atmosphere and walk up, just due to its eerie. By the way, guys, we're probably going to say some duplicate personal points here. We don't communicate on what we get personal points for before this video. This is me hearing him for the first time about that, by the way. So I will give duplicates.
And before we go any further, I want to remind all of you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Is It Scary Wisconsin, and make sure you check out the merch in the links below. If you want to check out the OG Is It Scary Wisconsin shirts we're wearing today.
All right. So my first personal point has to do with the atmosphere and just really the walk up to the location and really the waiting area. It's just I've never walked into an asylum. Like, so it's like I don't know what to expect. It's definitely unique. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that could say, I've never walked into an asylum either. So this is the first time you can really say you've done something like that. And the waiting area, and I do like how they're playing a show on for everyone. It's just like it's something you can hang out to and just chill and watch. Well, you can't really chill, you're just waiting and watching. And when you get up and you're ready for it, you know. So my next personal point is I really got my money's worth with that patient pass. It adds a whole new layer of fear when it comes to the physical contact with it. For 95% of the time was appropriate physical contact, like within reason. With them grabbing my shoulders and directing me into certain things. Like I feel like since I got this patient pass, I want y'all to understand. It's not just like an additional $10, I get to touch your shoulder, you know? I get to poke your arm. It's not that. I felt like I unlocked some more interactions because I have a patient pass. I was even put in a confession booth because I have a patient pass. Everyone else who didn't, you included, Justin, were told to keep going, but then you stopped because said my friend's in there. He's confessing right now. It's definitely worth it. And I feel like the person in that confession booth, you're gonna laugh at this, Justin. I had never really told. I think I did actually on our way on the drive back, but I played into the whole thing from 6 feet under when I was told why I was being omitted. So I told them I had a weird obsession with farm animals, and yeah, I shouldn't go into too much detail. Otherwise, I don't need to get this channel demonetized. Not that it is, but I don't want to run the chance that we can't have it. Uh, my next personal point is it has such a unique prop I've never seen. I don't want to say what it is. I just want to say where it is in its general area, and it's in the outside area. I've never seen an animatronic like that. That was interesting.
It was good.
And it wasn't like terrifying, like holy cow, run away from it. But it's like I haven't seen that before, and it was unique. It was cool. I had to give a bonus point for that. My next bonus point, personal point, the interactions with, I mean, I really just gave another bonus point because I just wrote interactions with the pass took it to another level. So it did. So realistically, getting that pass and, using it, it gave them 2 additional bonus points here. So to recap, by the way, Justin, because I know we're going to have to punch some numbers in on this. I am currently at 4 bonus points. Pretty much that patient pass gave him 2. My next bonus point is they really stayed in character. Like the doctors in that, they never really broke character, at least with me. And for example, when I was put on a chair, don't want to go into too much detail, but we were at some point looking for my heart rate. And I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got this watch here. It'll tell me what my heart rate is." He's like, I've never seen anything like that. I don't know what that is. I do it this way, because essentially what it really they're trying to play in is these are lost spirits from like decades ago, before smartwatches and smartphones and all this smart technology, of course. And they're looking at this, so like this is alien tech, you know what I mean? So they really played in this character, and I had to give them bonus points for that. And my last personal point here is, I mean, it's vague, but they really got me to jump a lot. There was a lot of moments where they had just really interesting props from above and below. And it was just interesting. And it got me to jump quite a bit. A lot more than some other haunts I have. And it really could is because I had the patient pass. And realistically, this patient pass gave them 3 bonus points at this point. So if I'm telling you, if you're going to this haunt and you actually want to get scared and really enjoy it, put in that extra $10. It's so worth it. Other than that, if you're a chicken, I don't know why you'd really be going, but you got that little chicken pass. I should have asked, what do they use for a chicken pass? I hope it's like a little picture of a chicken or something. That'd be so freaking cute. I'm curious. So yeah, in total, for my personal points, voice cracked. I am 27 years old. That shouldn't be happening. My personal points in total is 6 personal points.
So their current score is an 87 out of 100. So
87. That just shows you how. Oh, okay. All right, we'll get into it. Go ahead.
currently, they're a great haunt, and they are. They are a great haunt. Before we get into what we're going to talk about, um, I'm actually taking a point off of the score for significant avoidable contact with somebody who did not pay to be touched. That was kind of going into it, driving up. You were like, I'm going to get the patient pass. And I was like, well, I'll get it too. And then I was like,
Let's put them to the test.
I was like, let's put them to the test. Let's see how they discern between the two shows. So you got the patient pass and I didn't get the patient pass. I was shouldered into by a few of the larger actors. I was touched with quite a few props from actors. One specifically right at the end of the show that was completely avoidable. Like there was no reason for it. Had I paid to be touched, I wouldn't even be talking about this. I would probably have been like, that was cool, that was great.
They would have like 3 whole extra points.
Yeah. But I didn't pay for that. I'm not a part of that show. That should have been something that was used for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they must discern between patient pass and standard admission. That is one really important thing that I think they need to work on there that I noticed. However, I'm not saying the experience was bad because of it. I'm saying we score on touch versus no touch. Like that is something that we score on, and this was the perfect way to test that. They passed and failed. Like, I know that's confusing, but they did both good and not so good on that. So I was touched multiple times, and every time I was touched, I personally thought it was completely avoidable. No other actors were doing that to me other than a handful of actors, and I'm just like, I don't have a glow stick. Don't touch me. Like, I get it. I understand going for the creep factor. I do. I get that, right? Before anybody thinks I'm just being a bitch. Like, I get that. The review is the review, and if I see it, I have to score on it. I have to review on it. So for me, it was unacceptable. I took a point off. That puts him at an 86. That being said, the Sheboygan Haunted Asylum is still a good haunt. So, Gage, there were a few things we wanted to talk about. Let's start with vanilla lines.
Sure. So vanilla lines. Vanilla lines, for example,
we won't call anybody out specifically.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
But we did have some instances of boo, get out, several instances of both. Don't scare with boo and don't say get out. You can literally just say move it or go. You can say anything else, just not get out.
Get a move on.
It's a vanilla line, and it's totally unnecessary.
You could totally say, by the way, like someone did say it before, this person, whatever, the butcher's waiting for you. Stuff like that. Get a move on. The butcher's waiting for you, as opposed to saying just get out. It's an easy word to say, and I get that. However, there was at points where, like, we're at some point in the haunt, someone jumped around the corner and said, boo! And I'm like, no, dude, no. That was a point off. Because it's like...
It's an immersion breaker. Because it's so lame.
You can call us a bunch of, we're just being picky, really. Picky Perrys. Just came up with that one on the spot. But the thing is, it really is just kind of lame. I don't want to hear someone go boo because anyone can do that. I want to hear you were given vocal cords. Use them. I want to hear them.
Yeah, I want to hear your creature. I want to hear your creature sounds that I can't spell. Not B O O. Yeah.
And my next point that I wanted to make is like the whole touching thing. Because yes, you were touched, Justin. Yep. You didn't pay for it. I was touched and I paid for it. Oh, okay. So Here's the one thing worth my patient pass that I'm saying they really kind of need to work on. And this was a point to where I had an actor behind me and an actor in front of me. And they kind of timed, and I get it, they timed their scare to be, scary. They're both on me at the same time. So what happened was the actor from behind, stop. I know how all this sounds. I want to make a joke, but we're trying to be adults. The actor from behind got me from behind. Don't look at me like that. He grabbed my shoulders. Oh my God. He grabbed my shoulders and pushed me into the other actor. And then the other actor pushed up against me. And whatever tool he was using, whether it be a noisemaker or whatever, a tool to initiate whatever was a prop, it was shoved into my. This is like a Gage says, and like it's totally like warranted. That's the thing. I would. They shoved the prop in my hand. Sorry, I had to make that pause.
So
They
the
shoved
guy,
the
so the guy
prop.
grabs her from behind, shoves you towards the other guy, and
Yeah,
it was just bad timing, and the one prop ended up basically hitting you.
hitting me, and it was pretty hard into my hand. Now, I didn't take points off for that because it was an accident. I know they're not trying to intentionally hurt me.
Yeah.
Why would they go to a haunt where they're trying to hurt you? I know that's not the case. Now, if my hand was throbbing and I was bruised, I would have made a point or taken a point off. However, it's just something I want to be made that hey, be careful when you have a tool in your hand and you're a contact haunt. Be careful that tool doesn't become more than what it should be used for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really the best way to put it.
I would say just a little bit better coordination between actors on, hey, I'm going to do this, and after I do this, that's time for you to do this. That's time for
Put
you
the
to
tool
move this.
behind your back than like, because I okay, how do I make this not sound weird? I'd rather be pushed up against your chest and not have a tool punch into my stomach or my hand or something. You know what I mean? I'd rather have that be timed a little better.
Yeah.
Other than that, it really sucks because these vanilla things, these touch things, like, dude, what would that have been? That would have been 4 points right there. You took off one. That would have been 5 points. Where would they have been at 5 points with these 5 points?
Well, if you took away my point off for clearly avoidable contact, I mean, you'd be at
And then
like
add four, and then add
like
four.
90, 91, easy.
90, you would have been in the 90s. We only have 190. Like, it sucks because those vanilla small things can really impact that final scores,
Yeah.
and they're completely avoidable. So,
Yep. Yep. Especially,
yeah,
especially, especially with, I saw a lot of people there and I saw a lot of performers there that really looked like they knew what they were doing.
yeah, they're really experienced.
They
I'm
knew
not
how
saying
to,
they were
yeah,
lacking
they knew how
experience.
to scare.
Oh,
They
yeah.
knew how to work a room, and they knew how to work the corners. So really, with the people you have working there, there's no excuse for some of that stuff. And I understand there are some younger actors there, and maybe some of that stuff is coming from them. I think maybe a little bit more actor training on those younger actors can help mediate some of that stuff.
Actually, let me stop you right there. That younger actors, at least unless they're really tall kids, I don't think we're the problem. The ones that said these and did these were all adults or high school that were look like adults, you know?
So
So
younger
the
guys,
kids actually did very well.
yeah.
I wouldn't put this on the kids at all. In fact, I think how they actually have, and this is smart, and this is what I noticed. You may not notice this because you didn't have the patient pass, but when there were younger looking actors that were probably high school or a kid, they never touched me. Even when I had the patient pass, they never touched me.
That's so
They
smart.
were smart. And it's smart because you don't want to initiate some stupid stuff to happen.
That's so smart.
So
That is so smart.
that just shows good training. So I really feel like this is a grade A haunt. It just really sucks that they were held back by some choices that honestly probably adults made. So
Well,
I just know it can
one
be
of them
done.
I know for sure was an adult, but I'm just not going to call out who it was.
So MVAs before we get into our closing point.
Ghostface
Ghostface? Who's that? I'm sorry.
at the
Who's
end
that?
with the knives.
Oh yeah, no,
It was so
yeah,
good.
that
It
was a
was so
cool
good.
one.
And here's the thing: the reason I'm giving MVA for that is because that takes so much energy to
Hmm.
move like that and to do that. I look at a scare like that and I think to myself, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with these groups all night long.
Hmm.
You're basically running laps. Um, and so I wanted to make sure I recognize that. And I do want to give honorable mention to the grandma in the nursery. Um, she reminded me a lot of like my family members. We had a group of like 7 or 8, and you were in confession at the time. So she was basically telling the boys, like, hey, you should split up. You don't want to all go together because if you do, it'll ruin the experience. Unless you're all just a bunch of scaredy cat pussies. And just imagine like this 60 or 70-year-old
Sweet
woman,
old looking lady,
sweet
like
old granny, basically calling you out to your face. Like it was awesome. So I give her a massive shout out and runner up. Um, and the Ghostface gets NBA for me. Great performance. Takes a ton of work to do that. And I have a lot of respect for the effort that goes into that.
my MVA. My MVA is another kind of vague one. However, it's really kind of towards the beginning of the haunt. There was an MVA that was peering around a cell wall, like a cell door, and you would think, okay, were they just like this? No, no, they got on the ground and like were sideways, completely sideways. You could almost look at a 90-degree angle and just kind of, and like that was just creepy.
It
Seeing
is.
that in a cell and knowing you're in an asylum and seeing someone just
Yeah.
peer around the corner, like on the ground practically where your feet would be.
Yeah.
Of course. But like I'm just saying, like down below the waist, and they're just peeking at you. And they didn't scare, they didn't yell, and I didn't know if that was real. I might be giving MVA to a prop right now, and I don't even know. But it was impressive. And I'm like, I've never seen that at a haunt. Surprisingly, I've never seen anyone do that. So, and it's giving me ideas for when we scare at. By the way, check us out at Revenge. October 25th, this Saturday, we will be guest scare acting and recording any kind of good reactions we get. So that person there gave me, or prop, gave me ideas that I kind of want to use. That's my idea.
Yeah. Sheboygan Asylum is a good show. It's got smash mouth scares in your face and very interesting prop work and actor dynamics. I actually recommend the patient pass for people
Hmm.
who want to have a more intense experience. No, you're not going to be thrown around.
No, you
Nothing,
won't get
nothing.
hurt. You shouldn't be hurt.
You shouldn't be
No,
getting hurt. It's not going to be anything like that.
they're
But
just, yeah.
it is a more intense experience, and it is something I recommend if you are physically capable of handling it. If you're not, the general experience is fine. I enjoyed the show. They do have some cleanup with some technicalities to work on. Be a little bit more judicious in that no touching versus touching mechanic. And I think you guys are going to have a really awesome show going into the future. Gage, do you have anything you want to say to bring us home?
Be sure to experience Wisconsin's only real asylum haunted house. Step foot in the halls that countless troubled souls have wandered in years past. Just don't stay too long in case they need a friend.
I'm Justin. This is my best friend Gage. We're Is It Scary, Wisconsin. Not to be confused with some other copycat channels out there. Make sure you're subscribing to the right channel on YouTube because our icons sure do look alike these days. I wonder how that happened. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Sheboygan Asylum Haunted Attraction, there's only one question people want to know.
Is it scary, Wisconsin?